Hey guys, I'm back. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about my sexy channel, why I did it, why I stopped, and then we're going to get back into things. So, I'm recording YouTube, as you can see, and podcast as well. So, that will go on to our uh, podcast channel that I'll be creating, which will be on Spotify and potentially Apple Music as well. So I'm really excited about that. So I started Sex Ed because I could see that there was a gap in the market of available resources about sort of any sexual wellness, and just those taboo subjects that sort of people don't really want to talk about. I think it's time to talk about it, and I find that young people, especially, really want to talk about it, and they're finding it really hard to find relatable content to learn about these things. So that's why I started it. I want to, it's not just about sex and stuff like that, it's about relationships and all that kind of thing. It's purely an opinion piece. I have got training in nutrition, exercise science, naturopathic studies, homeopathic studies, natural health studies, um, pathology, and yeah, 15 years of mental illness, and being millennial and living through it as well. So it's my life experience and what I found to be lacking in the market myself. And I also, any information that I get, I do my research with. I've studied many times. I'm currently still studying to do creative writing. But I use all journal articles to get my information from, and I can do that through my current provider that I'm working with, North Tech, and I can gain their resources from there. So I always make sure that I check everything before I post it. And but yeah, it's just this. It's just my opinion, and I hope that you guys will get some vital information from it. I'm planning to have another episode released in a week's time, and then we're kind of aiming for maybe monthly posts, maybe more often, but I just want to make it achievable for me to always be able to get to you guys when and consistently, not having to have 6 months off, that kind of thing. Um, so our next couple of episodes will be about I'm going to talk about sex toys. There's a huge boom in information and toys on the market in the last few months. There's some awesome Kiwi brands, and there's also some brands that are really pushing that sexual wellness and that openness to talk about sex and that kind of stuff. And I also want to talk about contraception as well. So we are kind of seeing the effects of contraception now on a lot of people with mental health, I believe, and their bodies not having much control over their bodies and hormone levels and things like that. So I want to talk about that as well. So those will be our next couple of episodes, but I will keep a list online for you guys. So if you do want to tune on a specific episode, there's those ones available. My previous 4 episodes are still up, so if you haven't watched them, you're more than welcome to pop on and have a look at those. So I want to talk about why I stopped. Um, I we a few reasons. We've had, as a family, had a really hard last 6 months. To year and a half, but it all just kind of peaked in the last 6 months. I have a sick father, um, and we've had a lot of family breakdowns happen, and our support systems aren't really around us that anymore. Me and Dan and the 3 kids, we have my mum in Hamilton, which she's great, but that's about it. We don't really have anyone around us that is supporting us. And if you know me or follow my Instagram, you'll know that we have Luca Coffee Shop. Dan opened that 8 years ago, and I come on board helping about 3 years ago. But I've stepped in to working there more over the last probably 6 months, and then we got some news that our landlord was not going to renew our lease. It came to our right to renewal after 8 years came to an end, and he decided that he didn't want to renew it. So that kind of tipped our life on our head. We had to find a shop in 6 weeks' time. It was really stressful for our family, and so I just had to give up everything else that was currently on my plate to be able to focus on that. We are just about to start renovations and in our new place, and we've got some really awesome ideas coming up. So that's why I just wanted to keep enough of a gap between my episodes so that you guys get awesome content, but I'm not stressed out about all my other work commitments as well. Another thing is my mental illness. I get performance anxiety. So me talking to you guys like this, I've had to do some counselling to do that. It is really hard for me to perform in any way. I found that with bodybuilding. When I did bodybuilding, I loved every aspect of bodybuilding. I was really great at it until I had to get on the stage. My mind would go blank. I wouldn't know what my poses were anymore, and it was just a really negative experience because of that. And so I've decided that it wasn't going to rule my life anymore. So I went and got some help for that. I didn't really think I ever had performance anxiety, but so I just explained it to my psychiatrist, and he explained that that's what it was, and that because I've done a lot of big things in my life, lots of competitions, hairdressing competitions, lots of big study years and stuff like that, that it's probably just grown over the years. I like to be the best at anything I do, and so that fear of failure just kind of grew into something that I couldn't no longer handle. I get a lot of criticism through my social media channel, but I think that that's just standard when you're kind of putting yourself out there. People will comment and judge and criticize. I have trauma from my childhood, and it's abandonment and performance and being excluded. So I really struggle with that aspect of people criticizing me because of those reasons as well. I think that they think I'm the worst person in the world, and so yeah, it's just quite overwhelming. But learning how to deal with it has been really freeing for me. So I've spent the last year in really intense psychiatric treatment, just with my psychiatrist that was recommended to me, and he's been amazing. I was on the most anxiety medication that I've ever been on 2 years ago, and my antidepressants were still there, and I was taking sleeping pills to be able to sleep each night, and we've reduced my anxiety medication, my antidepressants, and I don't take sleeping pills anymore. So it's really got me my life back, and so I'm really glad that I started the sex ed so that I could see where I was struggling and finally sort it out once and for all. But it pretty much came down to a few people criticising the way I was doing my sex ed, saying that I wasn't qualified enough to do it, and it really affected me negatively for a very long time. And I recorded many more recordings and deleted them. So they're all gone, and that's totally fine. I'm ready to start fresh. I don't look so nervous in my videos anymore, and I actually kind of know what I want to talk about. So I feel much more direction towards this channel and what we're going to do with it, and it being a podcast as well. I think that it's going to open it up to a lot more people. I have an awesome following already, and that would be a real shame to let those down that have taken the time to follow already and enjoyed and commented and given me great feedback. You guys were the ones that made me want to figure out how to do this so that I can continue doing it. I have a passion for helping people feel normal. I'm me. I'm not your average run of the mill girl, and so I have often felt like I was an outsider looking in. But what I've come to realize is that it's okay to be outside. It's okay to be wherever you want to be, and you are still valued in this world, regardless of what one individual might tell you, or what your head might be telling you, or anything like that. And so, it's only going to make this place greater to come to, this channel, because you can turn up just being you, and I'll turn up just being me. So that's all I've got to really say this time. It's only a short episode, but that's cool. I just wanted to talk to you guys about those struggles that I've been having and why I stopped. So you'll be seeing me more regularly, and if you want to message me about my struggles and what I've been going through, and because you've been going through maybe the same thing, or you don't really understand it, my emails, my messages are always open to that kind of thing, and I will keep you guys posted on my next episode. You can join my mailing list. I have made some newsletters. I just wanted to get this video out first before I sent off those newsletters. So, but you can go to my website, www.zaniaoldham.com, and down the bottom of the page there's a little button. Click on that and you can subscribe, and then you'll join that mailing list, and then that will kind of it'll do a recap on what was the previous episode and why I thought it was important and what we talked about, and then it will give you an insight on what our next one will be. And then it's just like got also some info on like sex things, wellness things that I think are awesome. So like any sex toys or any companies that I think are doing great things, I'll put that in there as well, or any events or anything like that too. If you've got an event or a company that you think would align with that, flick me all your details. I'm more than happy to put it in the newsletter so that people know about what's going on around them. So I'll see you soon, guys, and thanks for coming back. I'm so happy to be here.